Hello and welcome to Blue Garden Cottage. Here we are again. Another garden update. And a very windy day. I so apologise if you can't hear anything with the wind blowing. It's quite horrible. But as you can see, everything is still springing into life, and it's been so cold over the last 3 days now. It has been absolutely freezing, back to winter temperatures almost again. Oh, but look at those strawberries. Strawberries in flower, fully. Rosebuds ready to burst. It feels so good to see all that growth in the garden. I did some research today, which I probably should have done before I planted my Acer, because apparently it does not like the wind. And this is quite a windy spot. I mean, the car is sheltering the plant right this minute, but when the car is not there, there's nothing there really except for that hedge over there, and the wind, the west wind really gets it. But oh, look at the colours on that. Isn't that just beautiful? The Aronia berries, look at them in flower there. All of those flowers promise such wonderful fruits to come. My yellow lilac, I can't wait for that to grow nice, and it's doing really well. The little fuchsia struggling there, but coming back. The chicory ready to flower this year. And look, the Sonetti ready to flower too. More rosebuds. Really excited about that. And the peonies, they've survived the transplant. They're doing fine. The iris is still wanting to flower. They haven't done so yet. My hostas are actually surviving there behind the strawberries in the corner. And look at the wisteria this year. Exploded into life. It's happier in that corner than there was one happier in that corner, because the one in that corner just died. But look at the Gooseberries in that corner. Wow. This bergamot's still surviving. It's one that overwintered. It's still surviving. Let's hope it flowers this year, because I want more seed. The stilby's still surviving. And look at that. The elderberry, the black lace elderberry. Got berries or flowers coming up already. So hopefully this being the first year we're going to get fruit. How amazing is that? And look at this jasmine. Full of flower buds everywhere to come up on the jasmine. This has been a good year for it. Look at it. Can't wait for those flowers to open up and burst full of scent. Look at this, the tree kale, the Dorban has got all this wind we've had. It was horrible yesterday, the wind, absolutely awful. Look what it's done to the kale, but that's okay, because we still have the parent right there, the tree trunk, and some fresh ones on top. So I shall cut that off neatly, and I might just take some of these for cuttings. I still have one in the back garden that survived. More rosebuds, look at that. I can't wait for them to flower. And this lilac has really taken, it was grown almost 2 foot just this year. Really lovely. And I have some gladioli in the ground there. I've put some sticks to protect the ground because the blackbirds kept digging them up. So I've just laid some sticks from the privet all around. Rhubarb's taken a battering with the wind. Everything's taken a battering with the wind. Look at it, looks sorry for itself. I shall have to sort that out on Monday. Anyway, let's go in the back garden. Much better out here. A little bit more sheltered from the wind here, but as you can see, the wind is still having a go. Not near as powerful as in the front garden, which is more exposed. My transplanted broccoli from the front, the volunteers doing really well. The beetroot, getting ready to be planted out next week, hopefully, if they're big enough by next week. I have some calendula and some marigold and nasturtium seeds in there. So hopefully they'll come up soon. Look at the beans, the cobra beans, growing really lovely. It won't be long now before I can put those hostas and ranunculus out. The ranunculus will go in the back garden, and I think the hostas will go in the front. And look, my hollyhock, almost ready to go out. I want it just a little bit bigger and stronger than that before I put it out. And the little one that didn't want to before has finally started. It was just a bit slow. So hopefully we can keep it going. I might just put this on the table under the cover there. And look at that Cape Gooseberry, or as others call it, ground cherry. I had to rescue my catnip. So you can see these leaves all speckled and drying out and that. They were on that polystyrene tub, as I told you, and I found some fungus, which I didn't know what fungus it was. It was like little saucer-like cup fungi, pasta-like looking, and I didn't know if that was like a honey fungus or not. But if it is, even if it's not honey fungus, if it's like it, I stripped as much soil as I possibly could off the roots, put all of that in the bin because I do not want that in my garden, not even in the compost, because it was really killing the catnip. So I cleaned them off and put them in fresh soil, and they seem to be putting out new shoots. So let's hope. If they survive, then fine. If not, then the whole lot, including the soil, has just got to go in the bin. But look, the ochre, that's got to go in the ground. But I had them under the cherry tree. And of course the lovely house sparrows decided that that was a perfect dust bath. So I'm just waiting for a bit. I'm going to have to rethink that cherry tree and fruit cage, because the fruit is sitting on the bushes now and I need to protect it if we're going to get any fruit at all this year. The cabbages have survived the transplant. I discovered loads of green fly on the fennel. It was just smothered. So between the slugs and the green fly. But I haven't done anything. I think the rain must have washed some of it off. Look at those potatoes. Won't be long before we can harvest those. About another month or so. And then these will come another month after that. They've all been earthed up and strawed. And then by the autumn, those will be ready. So they can be earthed up once more and then covered with straw to protect the soil. There you go, look at that. Sunshine, finally. The leeks and onions are taking off. Everything is good, even the edge anchoring in is looking good for the insects. Strawberries from the front garden transplanted. I'm waiting to put them in tubs and find a place for them. The house sparrows have been munching on my chard and spinach. Look at that. They've been pecking at it. All these little bits, that's the sparrows. The house sparrows have been eating. And I don't mind. I watch them. They're entertaining. But my spinach looks more like dandelion leaves now. These are all filling out nicely as well now, the beds. The plants are spreading and filling out and growing nicely. The one sad thing about going into May from April is that all the blossoms have fallen off. The blossoms have fallen off, but they're starting to form little fruitlets behind the sepals. And that hazel is a bit better this year, but it needs more soil in the pot, new fresh soil. So I'll do that in the autumn. But I'm happy. Look at the mallow, the marshmallow. Really lovely. All growing. More rosebuds. These are going to move. This is a bush, a shrub one. So I'm going to find a place here in the back for it. But this rambling one, I need to find a home for that. Not sure where, but I'd love to keep it in the back garden. I'll find a place for it. Maybe somewhere around my shed. Have it grow from there across the top of my shed like that. That would be lovely to have roses around there, wouldn't it? Oh, So grateful for a little rest in the rain. Oh, and look, the duck potatoes are growing again. Everything is looking okay. And finally, excuse me buttons, finally the pomegranates are in leaf. Maybe they just start later. That's a relief. With all the sparrows when they were feeding under here, leaving droppings, it's all dry. I'm going to scrape that off with a paint scraper and put it in the compost to help activate the compost. But of course, I haven't put food out here because we discovered a little house mouse underneath that post in that corner, by the concrete underneath. A little mouse has made a house there. Mouse has made a house. Funny that. So we've stopped feeding them under here. We'll make another feeding station elsewhere, away from the house. And nasturtiums, we got some more colour. And they're just so pretty. Geraniums or pelargoniums about to have flowers open as well. We have some volunteer borage coming up between the pinks. So them I will transplant to the front garden for more pollinators. Poppies, there are poppies growing everywhere. I think these are the blousy ones. Some more mustard over there. We shall harvest that to go in soups and stews. Look at that. Sonnetti ready to flower, and that red cabbage is looking really healthy there, likes it there. And look at this apricot, and the lily of the valley down the back over there survived. I'm really happy. Things are looking alive this time of year. There's always a relief. That nasturtium looking quite happy underneath the kiwi there. On the passion fruit, proper passion fruit, not passion flower, needs training up a bit so it can trail along underneath there. Yes, it's looking a bit confused. All its tendrils are going funny up there, so I shall move them. Oh, there we go. Just an update in the garden for now, seeing us into May. And I still haven't shown you what I've been doing with my writing. It's ready to be edited and then put on, have some formatting in the chives against the feverfew. So bright, it's lovely. All right, lovely people. I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are. Enjoy it. Make the most of nature wherever you can find it. I'll speak to you again soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment if you like. Thank you for all your support. Bye bye.